What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Vibes, presented by Vigilant Videography. I'm your host, Ethan Weiner, and let's jump into this episode. We got another guest with us today.
What up? I'm Jack Justice. I'm a filmmaker, professional actor, skateboarder, just like making stuff.
So, tell me a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and all that stuff.
ABQ, baby. Been here my whole life, born and raised in Albuquerque. Dad's from here, mom's from upstate New York, and
nice.
Met here, and been here my whole life. Went to school, public school here, and now I'm at UNM.
Nice. Yeah. Did you ever go up to New York? You go up to New York?
Yeah, I grew up visiting family in New York City, upstate New York too, and yeah, man, I love it up there.
Mm-hmm.
City never sleeps though.
Facts,
love that
facts.
shit.
How is it like? Is it like weird going back and forth between like Albuquerque and New York?
It was when it was happening as a child, because I grew up as a child actor. I would have these amazing opportunities to go maybe do some type of camp or workshop in New York, or like a trip is halted because I'm doing work here and I can't go, and I'm like traveling solo as a kid. So it was unique and an experience to go back and forth like that and visit like my family I don't see usually. And I mean, in a city like that and in LA and lots of bigger places, people operate on a different wavelength.
For sure, just like all around, just on the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about a child actor. So when did you kind of start to get into acting in the film world?
Dude, honestly, all started with music actually.
Really?
When I was the smallest kid, I would always be singing Beatles songs and I just loved singing and loved rock music, loved just kind of all sorts of stuff, and I always was singing like Bob Marley songs, and my parents have always been super supportive.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, we got to get you some music classes, and I'm like in first grade, and they take me to a place that's like offers modeling, acting, singing lessons for all sorts of kids, and there was no openings for singers, but my dad's like, you could try acting if you want.
Yeah.
And that kind of started it. Started doing acting classes.
Are your parents like in music at all or anything, or do they just like supported you with it?
Honestly, a little bit. Like my dad grew up playing music, playing guitar, and a little bit in the rock scene, had some bands, and so he always supported that. And then my mom, she is not musical at all, but super supportive. Super supportive.
No, that's important.
Yeah.
So having that like growing up, like how did that affect, like did that like affect your schooling, or like affect where you were, like who you were around and all that?
Totally. It was a crazy experience, because it's like 7 years old, started taking classes, and by the time I was 7.
That's young. That's young to start all that.
It's young because it's like there's also t-balls going on, basketballs going on, and it's kind of like, hey man, you got an audition for Big Lots commercial and you book it, like you could do it, but you got to be in LA. And so I took a year out of like my elementary school at public school, and we like moved to LA just for a year to kind of give me an opportunity, because I had signed with a pretty big agent out there, coast to coast, and I like took a year doing homeschooling, and that was a trip, but it was like auditioning as a kid, and I had basically, it was a hard decision. It's like, you want to be in Albuquerque, play sports, do the team thing, or do you want to kind of do this because you have the opportunity?
Right.
But there wasn't a way for us to like maintain a life in LA, and my parents didn't want to like force me to be a kid, like that career, I was so young, so they wanted me to have a little bit of a life. So after that year, I kind of came back from LA and from the homeschooling thing, and it was like, I'm a 9-year-old kid around that time, turning 9 in like second, third grade, and I have like a worker's permit at school. I have to like meet with my principal and do that. I didn't know any kids doing that.
No, that's crazy. And that's like, it's stressful because at 7 you're like, oh, but I want my friends and all that. And you don't want to, a lot of people, it can like make you hate the work, and like make you hate the industry because you're like, oh, I want to work. I want to be with my friends.
Yeah, it was like a play date.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, but taking that leap like in LA, just like young, to start off your career, even if you didn't even though you didn't stay, it's like a big jump, and that's like, I bet that put you ahead just like from the start. Like that's a huge thing. Decision to make.
Yeah, it was a huge decision, but it was a great experience because I would go in these rooms. I've always had hair like this, like crazy big, and I remember I had only booked 2 things when I was out there. It was a Big Lots commercial, my first audition, and it was crazy. I booked it, so it was like, that was the confirmation, you're out here.
Yeah.
And then I had auditions like every day as a kid throughout the year, and it would be like Hannah Montana audition. I'd go in,
shit.
and I've always been kind of unique with the hair, and it's filled with kids that look like you, and then their parents are staring at you, like giving you
like
dirty
the same
looks.
hair and everything.
Yeah.
Dang,
same
dude,
exact
that's
hair,
crazy.
like same height, same everything. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, I thought I was special.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I just made it here, and like, there's a million of me.
Yeah. That's like that kind of is like, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's definitely cool, but it also kind of sucks to be like, damn, like, this is the entertainment industry. Like, it's not just, like, yes, I'm special, but also there's a lot of like, just to see it, like, in front of you, a lot of competition, because a lot of kids, like, grow up, and then their parents are like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of competition out there. You're like, yeah, I know, but, like, I'm the best. And then seeing that, though, and going into it already knowing that, that's a huge step up.
Yeah, that was so impactful, because honestly, I mean, I know adults that are like, once they first get their first agent, they start going auditioning, and they see that, or they like get a couple no's. It's like, it's done. They're over. They can't hang in there. And it's like, I guess that, speaks to why I enjoy the craft of it, because if I cared so much about the outcome, then it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be as easy to make it. You know what I mean?
No, for real. And that's what you have to, like, if you like don't care like you do, then it's gonna be super hard to make it. Like, if you don't truly care or truly want to do it, like, just for yourself, like, whatever anybody else says, like, if you want to do it for yourself, that's what like really makes it. Yeah. So that's dope. Like, coming from that and seeing that. So do you feel like that whole experience? So wait, so you came back to Albuquerque, right? And so did you stay with it, or
and
did
then
you
I stayed with it? Yeah. So that was kind of its perfect way to segue. It was like, child actor thrown into the fire, and then it's like, all right, cool, we got a little taste of that. You should be a kid, you should come back here, see what's good. At that point, I mean, Albuquerque had been popping off, New Mexico had been popping off a little bit, starting to get a lot of films in development, but not what it's like right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was able to sign with a boutique agency out here, and they started A&M. They're not around anymore, but they were a great agency, and based in Santa Fe. And I started just working on local things that I could get on, from like local short films to like a couple TV spots. By the time I was like in 5th grade, I had been like acting still through it all, but was just a kid. Started skating a little bit, started skateboarding, and that was individual for me. Kind of got that sport thing going, and could get all whatever energy I had pent up out there.
When did you start that? When did you start like skating, really?
Like, honestly, 5th, 6th grade was when it really started getting serious.
Okay, cool.
Started flipping the board, started going to the ditches and exploring, and exactly what I needed, bro.
That's dope. So you really had like, I mean, it sounds like it was like a huge like step up from everyone else. Like, I mean, a lot of people, there are a lot of other child actors, but coming back and then competing still, and then like competing to this day, like having a bunch of people and just already knowing the industry, knowing what it is and all that. That's like a huge step up.
Dude. I'm so grateful to the community here too, because it's like, especially my film people, like the casting, all the local casting directors here, the New Mexico casting directors have known me since I was a little kid. All the agents, like I know, I love them all. They are all so supportive, and it's like so cool to have been a part of like, their growth as well, seeing what they've been doing, and also them see what we've been able to accomplish as all the locals that I know that have stuck with it,
exactly, And so would you say for like other people trying to break in, either like now or like a little later or even like younger, would you say that it's a good place to break in, Albuquerque?
Honestly, one of the best places to be. We're not like LA and New York on certain things, but the amount of productions that are going on here, the amount of cool connections and agents that are popping off, and all sorts of stuff. I mean, local filmmakers come in making their stuff here. Like, we're kind of becoming our own hub. I know we're like number 2 or number 3 most productions going on in the country right now.
No, so for real, definitely. And there's been like a huge spike. Like, I mean, like, I haven't been here for that long, but just like coming into it and see it, it's like film is just like thrown into your face everywhere. Even in the airport, there's like all around. There's like that camera and all that stuff. I was like, damn, this is like crazy. So it definitely is a film state. And I know it's not, a lot of people I don't think it's on the map like that yet in terms of like if you're not in the film industry, you don't really know about it. But if you are, you definitely know about it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I feel like gives the upper hand, because being in here and just doing all this stuff right now, you're already in the ground level. Like you're embedded in the ground like of this film industry in New Mexico. So being in that already and then seeing the stuff build up, having those connections already, that's super crucial.
Dude, exactly. It's like I've had some opportunities to consider, maybe getting out of Albuquerque, maybe going to LA and trying to be more actor there. But I'm so glad I stayed here and started doing my own thing, did the film program at UNM, and it's like to be able to be working on my own short film now that's like about the heart of Albuquerque. It's exactly what I want. And I can, if those productions aren't coming for me out here, let's just make them ourselves and show them what's going on. But
so talk to me a little bit about like what you got going on right now, or projects coming up and all that.
So just finished shooting my first short film called Goat Heads, and if anyone from Albuquerque is listening, they know what that is. It's inspired by a lot of stuff that's happened in my life, especially with skateboarding and growing up in Albuquerque. All the different people I know, all the different characters you might see out on Central, and it was an honor to make this film because I acted in it, I directed it, I wrote it, but it was all SAG-AFTRA approved.
Oh,
right
really?
At the end of the strike, we still made it happen.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, I mean, that was crazy for me to figure out how to do, but it's like to get the union involved in a project like that,
for sure.
Having stunts, having like a band, having all that going all out, and actually making it was like the coolest thing. So.
That's no, that is like really, and it looks really, like from what I've seen of it, it looks really raw. Like it is like, it's a raw, like, good interpretation of New Mexico and like Albuquerque as like a whole, and not even just. I mean, I haven't seen the whole thing. I'm waiting to see it. I'm definitely coming to the screening, but it's like it seems like a really good like depiction of different characters as well as like you just. I mean, because you're in Albuquerque, like you're living in everything, and then having these different characters of different like I'm assuming it's like kind of characters you've already met in your life and everything like that. So basing it off a real story and just the life here. That's
literally it all stems to because like in 2022 I had an awful skateboard accident. Had to get a craniotomy, like emergency brain surgery, 40 staples to the dome, like broken shoulder. Going through something like that, waking up in the hospital, like I could have died. And so
that's scary, dude. That's and also like I didn't even know that, but doing that and then after still just like skating and not being like afraid of it, not letting like
I'm psycho, dude.
But that's dope because a lot of things can happen like with wherever you are, whatever you're doing, but it's like continuing with that, something that for real like almost like killed you, and then you're just fuck it, man, I'm gonna get some staples in my head, just like chill out and go back to it, and that's a huge part of like your character as well too.
Just changing my whole perspective on like everything, but also it's like, why did I do this in the first place, and what draws me to these things, and it's all the community and people that are around it, and it goes to the heart of Albuquerque.
Facts. Do you think that accident made you like love skating more, love the life more, or hate it more? Like how did that affect you?
Dude, I hated it at first because I mean it happened at a crazy time in my life where like family stuff was going on. I didn't know where I was going to be in a couple weeks. I was going to move to New York and go to school there. I was changing my whole thing. And a relative had gotten sick, so I was like, I don't know if I could stay with you there.
Life is just like spiraling.
But like that's when I got sponsored by this skate company called Grandma Skateboards. Short-lived, shout out Grandma. But
I think I heard of that.
They were taking me on trips and we were making videos, and
that's dope.
I ride for the skate shop too, Filter Skate Shop. Shout out Noah. But like, dude, I felt like I had something to prove. And so I like went to the biggest, gnarliest skate spot to like try to prove something, when in reality I shouldn't have done this. Like in any sane mind, I shouldn't have like landed the trick I did. But I like landed the trick still and still went down when I got hurt. Dang. And that can really mess with like the psyche, because it's like,
because you got it and it's just like still messes
the roll away, hit a pebble, like flies over the bottom of the ditch.
And then you just like blacked out after.
Dude, I blacked out. Had a seizure after 10 minutes.
Really? Dang, that's
like
scary.
The ambulances came and everything, and There's a video of it online.
Really?
If you look hard enough, it was on this Thrasher Hall of Meat. Like it went all over the place. Yeah.
Dang. Were you with like your boys, or was
I was with my
random
boys.
people? Okay.
Yeah. They all like took so good care of me. Luckily.
That's good.
So.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And that kind of that experience, that's what made me love skating again. Because it was like I could have looked at it as the accident that ended it all. There's no way I'm gonna go back to board. Like, you know,
and like just getting back on for that first time after that, like, has to be fucking scary.
It was scary, but it's like without those dudes that were there that wanted me, you know, to just be okay. I you know, wouldn't be here. Like they saved my life. They called my parents. They made sure I was good, and then they still like made a little tribute video of like the trick and like.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. And they're my closest friends now because of going through that, you know. And that's like what we're telling in Goat Heads. It's a story of 3 skaters. One's a filmer of the crew. One has just had an awful accident, like I had.
It's really
and then the other one is like, because this is Albuquerque. He's kind of he's the hype man of the crew, but he's fallen into some drugs, and I mean it's easy to get into the wrong lanes here, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
At least like surrounding yourself with that type of stuff. So telling
nice.
that, and it's all from the lens and perspective of the drainage ditches here in Albuquerque. I wake up in a ditch, and then I'm discovered by like a Burqueño dude who's like wearing a Dukes jersey. He's like, "Wake up, Flaco!" And it's like just a total coming of age adventure.
Yeah, that's super dope. That's why I'm even more excited to see it.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, like, I knew a little bit about it, but then hearing that, I'm like, dude, that's like sick. So it's like super autobiographical. It's like,
pretty close to a lot of this stuff.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Thank you, man.
And having that, I feel like having that like skating. I know you started like a while ago, but having that embedded in like your work is, I think, super important. And one of the things that can like really distribute, or like, you know, make you different from a lot of people, or a lot of like, you know, oh, they look like me, they're doing the same stuff, but they're not me, they can't do all this like crazy shit.
Dude, you're so right. I mean, that's literally been the thing that's kept me in it, I think, because I love acting and I love skateboarding almost just as equally, but like I couldn't do them without each other, because like you hear no so many times as an actor, but like trying a new trick on a skateboard, it's like you try it, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of times, and then you land one, and it's like a 3-second, you know, moment of adrenaline bliss. That's the same thing, and a lot of the values from that, you know, I took with me. But people start knowing me for that a little bit, and it's ended up affecting my own experience as an actor, helping benefit roles I've gotten. Ultimately getting me to be like a skateboard consultant on Stranger Things. Like that's crazy, bro.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool. That's really
so it
cool.
all started, bro. Yeah, it all started after that accident.
Like, so after that, and then just kind of like...
I'm like, all right, well, I got to heal up, and I got an amazing opportunity and audition for this film called When You Finish Saving the World, which you helped me out with, with the premiere.
That was dope.
The very first day of filming this project, like, you know, I wasn't supposed to be a skater in this. Jesse Eisenberg is the director, and I'm best friends with Finn Wolfhard in the film, and I'm just supposed to be offering him weed, and they're like, "Yo, bro, take a hit." He's about to perform a show for this girl he likes, and I'm like, "Calm down, bro. You should take a hit." And Jesse Eisenberg comes into the trailer on the very first day, and he's like, "Hey, Jack, it's so nice to meet you. I hear you're pretty good at skateboarding, right?" And I was like, I mean, I'm pretty good, you know. I could do a little. After my accident, I didn't want anyone knowing, but they knew.
Was that like was that the first? Like, have you skateboarded since then after your accident?
I had little, just started getting comfortable on it, but not a lot. Really. I was taking it easy. But it had been 6 months, so I was comfortable like rolling around. But he's like, you know, you good at skateboarding? I'm like, yeah. I mean, he's like, do you think you can skateboard, smoke weed, and talk at the same time?
You're like, I got you.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, dude, do you know me? Like,
like, come on, bro. That's
like,
dope.
It's everyone I know, bro. I know I could do that.
That's me right there.
He's like, great. Dope. And then he just like walked away, and I got an email about like 5 minutes later, and they wanted me to have like my board in every scene. And from there on, it like changed my character. I was able to bring my own life experience as a skater to the camera, and like, they trusted me to skate on Central in front of their big film camera, E24 project, and I'm this guy going around their scar.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, when I was watching that, I was like, dude, this is Jack. This is Jack up here, bro. Like, that's crazy. And then that really, but that's like playing into it and like really making a different character out of it.
Yeah.
Just like, and making you, more available for more roles. Like if you said
Yeah.
like you'd be sick if you were like, I can't do that, bro. I don't know how to skateboard. Or
Yeah.
like something like that, and it's like, oh damn. Like, that can really like cost it. So having those skills and like just going the extra mile to make Jesse Eisenberg just like happy.
Yeah, bro.
And it's like, all right, facts. Like
it was the
fire.
coolest thing. And like, dude, from that, a couple months go by and I had the best time on that set, biggest role I've ever had in anything. And literally I got a call from the first AD of Stranger Things. And he was asking my knowledge of skateboarding. And I'm like, how did you get my number? Shout out Angelica. She's a local locations person here.
Yeah.
And she worked on When You Finish Saving the World. She threw my name out there.
That's dope.
And instead of flying someone in from LA to help with a skateboarding scene on Stranger Things, they called me up.
That's dope.
Had me help some kids with the skate scene, and then I booked a role on the show a couple weeks later. I was a skater in a flashback scene. Got to skate and act again with them. It was just unbelievable. I never thought those would be in the cards for me.
That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah,
well,
bro.
Yeah, bro. That's super dope. Like that's like in like a crazy like journey, like going from there to there, and just like seeing everything come into play. That's super dope. So going forward, do you have any like do you know where you want to be in the future? Do you know where you're going with this? You're just kind of planned it out.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Hoping Goat Heads is well received, and
facts.
It connects a lot of these people I've met on all these productions I've done over the years. I've kind of pulled them in, brought them on to be a part of what I made, and I'm hoping that maybe we get to some festivals, take it around. Facts. And then from there, I would love to get acted, like get cast in anything. I would love to, do some more awesome gigs. But right now, I'm just trying to make some more work for myself and see what me and the homies can cook up. Got some skate videos coming out, and
dope.
just continue to make some cool shit with the dudes,
Yeah, that's fire. I'm excited to see everything you do, bro.
Dude,
It's gonna be dope, bro. It's gonna be dope.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all I have for you today, bro.
Bro,
I appreciate
my
you
dog.
pulling up, bro.
Thank you for having
so
me,
much.
dude.
For sure. No, definitely
This was
for
a
sure,
blast.
bro. Thank you guys for watching another episode. We're coming a lot. We're getting a lot of people coming in. If you're interested in being on it, let us know. Hit us up. Hit Jack up. We'll have the Instagrams and everything. Hit us up. And thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later.
Thanks, y'all.
Peace.